Today, we're going to take a look at a set of rock lights. I've done some rock lights in the past. These are a little bit different in the aspect that they're non-colored. They're just all white. So if maybe you're a rock crawler guy and you don't want the flashy bling and whatever else, you just want a standard light that's built pretty good and is a really good price point, this might be a kit for you. So let's get into it. These kits are commercially available on Amazon, and I got it here on my iPad. I'm just gonna let you look at that. I don't know if that'll zoom in with the light or not, but I'll put a link down below. But the manufacturer or vendor is called Ledur. So price point's pretty good. One thing that I really like about them here is this other feature, and that's that they are IP68 rating. What does that mean? So basically, when you're looking at something like this for an off-road rig, you want to make sure that you're getting something that's durable and that's going to hold out the dust and dirt and especially the water. So IP68 actually is egress protection. Solids, dust, and dirt is the 6, and 8 is liquids and water. So when you read that, it says an IP68 rating are water resistant and fresh water to a maximum depth of 1.5 meters for up to 30 minutes. A little later in the video, we're not going to go to 1.5 meters, but we are going to submerge them while we got them powered up with this battery. So with all that, let's get into seeing what they look like out of the box. I'm going to just blaze through this because I hate unboxing videos. Little pamphlet. Again, the pamphlet that you come with, they've got all kinds of lights and neon showing. So a little bit misleading there, but these are white only. They do come with some nice, I don't know what kind of material it is. It's kind of a silicone, but that's a nice little backer. We'll get into that later, that the light itself can push up against when you mount it to your rig. So what do we got? Just pulling stuff out. Got a couple bags here. First thing we notice right away, we got 2 bags with 4 of them in there each. So again, 8-pod kit. We do have some mounting hardware here. Looks like stainless. Stainless is good and bad. It gouls and it's kind of soft and breaks, but it also don't rust. So what am I seeing right away is a nice aluminum housing. And these connectors I have seen before. Now this is a little bit misshapen. I don't know whether that's from the molding process or the shipping process, but you can kind of see here, maybe. I'll zoom in on that maybe a little bit later. But they've got this connector that I've talked about with other rock lights and stuff in the past. And that's a good connector. I've had good luck with it on my personal machines. Here's a bonus right away. Extensions. It comes with 2 extensions, so we're already in my happy zone. Kind of getting the cart ahead of the horse. Let's get back to the light here a little bit. Nice aluminum housing. On the back side of it, I'm going to just come around there and let that zoom in on the camera on a few of these things. So if you look, it looks like this is all just the metal is exposed, but this is actually like a clear potted, so it's all sealed up. Again, going back to that IP68 rating, I think that we're going to be just fine when we go into the water test with these. So, and this is what I was talking about earlier. That's just a little bit misshapen. Now I don't know whether that's from the molding process or if that's just from getting stuck in the box, and I kind of think it's maybe a molding issue, but I don't know that it's going to bother the sealing. We'll see here in the water test. So, looks like each light pod has got roughly about 16 inches of wire on it. The wire is a decent size. The pins are of decent size. Some of these real cheap stuff that I have seen and reviewed in the past, the pins are so small and so delicate that you just really wonder how they're going to last. So that's all looking pretty good so far. Normally on a rock light kit, you're going to have a big controller that houses all the digitalness inside it, whatever happens on the inside in there, to receive the Bluetooth signal from your phone or controller or whatever. There isn't any of that here because we're not changing lights. We just got white LEDs, so we're not changing colors. So this is their on-off switch. I'll come around and zoom in on that in a second. But this is kind of impressive. It looks like we've got a nice little ice cube style, not ice cube, but it's a nice little relay that takes the power, the load off of this switch. So that's pretty cool. Nice heat shrink. Again, we've got these connectors that have that O-ring seal on them, and that there again is going to go to that IP68 rating, and that's going to really be good for us. So here's a wad of mess. Let's undo this and see how long this is. All right. So I just stepped offset there for a minute and measured these, and to this splitter where the one comes into everybody, each one of these leads is 8 feet. So theoretically, if this is parked, landed, wired in the center of your machine, car, truck, whatever you're going to put these on, you'd have about 16 feet. Now we know that it's going to take a lot more than 16 feet to get to a place because you got to go up and around things and whatever else. But anyway, about 8 feet per lead, you'd have about 16-foot maximum reach if that splitter section here was in the center of your vehicle. So overall thoughts with this. The wire is of decent gauge. They've got a nice little fuse in here, inline fuse. These are all things that you don't have to buy extra. It's only a couple bucks, but it does add up. So all in all, I think this kit from the surface looks like the build quality is pretty decent. The only thing that I didn't like was that one connector. A couple of them actually are kind of misshapen, and we'll see what that looks like once we guide that onto his other half of it, the male half of it here. Again, I pull back that nut, and there's that seal. As I put it together over the other connector, it's got a nice little support that's about the right size. So the major diameter of this, the OD, straightens up the ID of this as you put it together. So that misshapen, misformed, whatever it is, it goes away as soon as you put it on. So we're back. I've got these 4 over here that we're going to use as our control. We're going to leave them out of the water. These 4 over here, we're going to play Dip Master and take them down in for about 30-minute time period. We're not going 1.5 meters deep, but let's face it, there isn't a lot of difference in pressure at 1.5 versus whatever. This is 6 inches, 8 inches of water, and at the end of the day, if you're submerging any portion of your vehicle deeper than 6 or 8 inches where these lights are probably put, you probably got bigger issues coming. So to recap, real quick, for those of you that don't want to watch the rest of this and we want to just get to the bare bones, would I buy them or not? Yeah, I would buy these. These lights are well built. Wire gauge is good. The coating on the wire, the aluminum housing, the nice potted housing, everything seems to be sealed up really good. Stuff that you're looking for in an off-road machine that's going to get wet, dirty, and abused. The relay, it's a great touch. I understand now why the relay is in. When I went and fired these up, it's going to look like the Blair Witch Project here pretty quick. And they are bright. They're angry little guys. So with all that, let's go ahead and dunk these in. Again, IP68 says 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. So I'll start my phone. But first we'll fire them up here. Get ready. Wah! Bring the water up. I also have, if you notice, I'm going to get the connectors in there because that's just as important as the light itself. So go ahead and start my timer. Bye, little fellas. Doot, doot. I think you can see that it's definitely illuminated. Obviously water there. I'll bring you over. I'll zoom you in, is what I'm saying, so you can see them. Get them in there. 30 minutes. Probably do a time lapse. Get my phone here for show and tell. Hang on. There we go. Oop, there's that. You see they're definitely in there submerged. The connectors are fully submerged. And we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back. I got running my teeth and we're actually 31 minutes. Now, a few of you legalists are going to maybe see the phone go dark a few times and thinking, what? Look, at the end of the day, it's been in there over 30 minutes and all these lights are still completely functional, angry bright. Let's set them next to the ones that weren't in the water. Just take, you'll never be able to see any other than blinding, whatever, but there's literally no difference. I shut this off, let the stars go out of my eyes here. I don't see any moisture, fogging, anything of the nature. So let's wrap this up. In conclusion, I think it's a pretty solid kit. Build quality is right up there. These nice little mounts, I said I was going to come back to them. Those are really handy. Put them together on the back of the light just like this. And you use the supplied fasteners or whatever you want to do. You go ahead and you can see this machine in the background. Maybe it's where I mount it right here. This one here has got a different brand lock, lights on it. That doesn't matter. But these little rubber things are pretty nice to be able to get that wire out from underneath the light. You'd think if you were mounting this on a flat piece of steel, that cord would be angry trying to get out of there. So it gives you a couple different options. It's quite handy. I guess a few takeaways. So what I like about it, they are water resistant. The IP68 definitely, they held true to their standard there. Let's take one of these connectors apart real quick, just make sure there's nothing in that. It's bone dry. What I like about it, build quality seems to be right up there. Price point, you're around $50 for this kit at the time of filming this. Wire connectors are a good size. The O-rings work. Just all around, I think this is going to be a kit you're going to put on and get many years of service out of and be very happy with it. What I don't like about it, I would say if I had to be choosy, the switch works fine. It's just a very simple little switch, little LED indicator there. There's nothing wrong with it in itself other than I don't know that I'd want this switch mounted on the dash of my really expensive Jeep or something like that. I think I'd probably want a switch that's going to be a little bit more, even on a side-by-side. I probably would want to get a switch that has a little light up insignia on it that, that says rock lights or something like that. I'm a little fussy, maybe you're not. At the end of the day, is that a deal stopper? No, because cut that guy off, little shrink wrap, solder connections, put in your own switch, whatever you want. So at this price point, you kind of get what you get. You don't have a fit, and I think you're going to be pretty happy with it. The only other takeaway, I told you it had extensions. These are about 1.5 meters, 5 feet. There's 2 of them that are supplied. If you're putting these rock lights on like a 4-seat side-by-side or maybe even like a 4-door Jeep, might be a little bit of a hard stretch to get these lights exactly where you'd want them. At the time of filming this, I don't know that these extensions are sold separately. They do come with 2. I would like to see them come with 4, or even better yet, have them available on their Amazon page, website, whatever that's called. So in closing, the Ledur rock lights, all white, pretty cool little setup. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if I can ever help you if you're in the area. Appreciate it. Thank you.